Hello all, and welcome to a very special Shochu review. It is almost 6 o'clock in the evening, and you're probably hearing a noise in the background. Well, I am having my tea kettle boil up some water for this Shochu review. And yeah, because why am I boiling water? Well, those of you who have been watching this channel for years, because I have reviewed shochus before, know that my preferred method of drinking shochu and tasting shochu is as oyuwari, which is shochu mixed with hot water. So, what is it that we are reviewing today? We are reviewing Iichiko Kogane no Imo. Imo being sweet potato. I forget what Kogane means. And this is from the Sanwa Shurui Company out of Oita, Japan. 25% ABV. And this is an Imo Jochu, or sweet potato shochu. But it also has an addition of rice to it. Now, apparently, this is only sold in Hawaii and California, which is, I guess, where they could get it distributed. So, yeah, let's just go and review this, everyone. And please ignore the noises in the background. Thank you. So, yeah, where was I? There's no verbiage on the back of this one. So we're just going to go straight to the tasting right now, shall we, folks? So I have a snifter. This is not what you usually go and taste shochu in. But it is a good way of, getting a feel for it. In its, I wouldn't say pure essence, because, honkaku, the source, is usually around like 40 to 60% alcohol, and they usually water it down a little bit. Of course, clear, as shochu should be, because it's not barrel aged or anything. Oh, and my hot water is ready. Yeah. Okay. You have that distinctive sweet potato smell to it, which is, of course, sweet and somewhat earthy. But this one kind of comes across as a bit lighter, not as earthy, probably due to the addition of the rice. Okay. Almost some light fruity notes there underneath the earthiness, or above the earthiness. Yeah, so generally your sweet potato, shochu kind of nose, but lighter and cleaner. Onto the palate now. Oh yeah. There's that mid to finish. There's this point in the mid to finish where it's just this deeply earthy, funky note right there that I just absolutely love about Imo Jochu. That makes it my favorite type of shochu. But you can definitely tell that it's not a pure Imo Jochu, because the front is so light and clear. Um, Almost slightly spirituous without any kind of burn. Maybe some light floral notes there. Hmm. Yeah. Maybe just a little bit too clean for my tastes. You know, all that earth and funk is just in the mids to finish. And then it finishes fairly clean too. There's no cloying sweetness to it. That well, I shouldn't say cloying, but no lasting sweetness to it, like some Imo Jochus do have. Of course, at 25% ABV, goes down fairly easy. Mm. So I'm going to just say it now before I even get to the oyuwari. But this is definitely an introduction to Imo Jochu, sweet potato shochu. And that is because it's kind of challenging for a lot of people. That earthiness is not really something that you easily wrap your palate around. But this one, where it's balanced by the addition of rice malts, doesn't have it as intensely. Now, if you're like me, and the more intense, the better, the more concentrated, the better, then yeah, you know, slightly, I shouldn't say disappointing, but not quite hitting the mark, you know, not quite scratching the itch, as it were. And yeah, we're almost done with the sample here. It wasn't quite a big sample, but yeah, you know, not looking for a big sample at that one. And let's go and pour the hot water into the tumbler. Okay, here's our tea kettle going into the crystal. So for an oyuwari, you always want to add the hot water first. And really, for the highest quality oyuwari, you'll want to mix the hot water and shochu, and then just let it sit, cool down, and then reheat again. Obviously, I can't do it in this type of electric kettle, but if you have a traditional charcoal kettle, it's fairly easy. Because, so for a 25%er, we're going to go for a nice 4 parts water to 6 parts shochu. I'm going to have a lot of extra hot water here, so I'm probably going to make a nice cup of tea after this review. Yeah, so we're going to add it now to the hot water, and you shouldn't mix it. Okay, there, that's about 6 parts to 4 parts water. Not sure because this crystal is not transferring the heat very well. We'll see. Yeah. So yeah, I guess once the kettle turned off, the water started cooling off again. For it just a bit hotter, you know, I almost want it at the level where it's just a hair below too hot for the palate. And this one's a bit cooler. Probably also due to the fact that this is crystal. I forgot the crystal also goes and conducts heat very well. So it probably drew out a lot of the heat by pouring this in. I just wanted to have something nice to look at while I'm drinking this. So yeah, kind of floral mixed with earthy notes. Still has a bit of that caramelized sweet potato tang to it. And onto the palate. Mm. You know, I usually don't add water to whiskey because it doesn't really do anything for me. But adding water to shochu, you know, it seems to open it up so much more for some reason. The earthiness kind of comes mixed with a slight, this nice herbaceous spiciness now. And of course, the alcohol goes straight to your head when it's mixed with hot water. I don't know why that is, but it just does. Warms you right up, which is excellent for this oncoming winter season. Yeah, this is some good stuff, friends. And I'm saying that because I'm enjoying it. Um, I think if I had something that was a little bit more traditional, full sweet potato, a lot more rough around the edges, I think I would be enjoying it even more. Uh, because, like I said, the entire thing about sweet potato shochu is the rough edges, is that intense flavor, is that lovely earthiness, lovely sweet potato. And I don't know how many times you can probably count how many times I said earthiness and sweet potato in this review, and it was probably going to come up to the double digits. Oh, this just brings me back to when I lived in Japan, you know, during the winter, making this on the stove. You know, and because my kitchen didn't have heat, the only room that had heat was my bedroom, so my kitchen and my bathroom didn't have heat. So I would be heating this up, you know, and I drink down one wonderful glass of it, have myself a cigarette, peace cigarette. I love the Peace brand cigarettes in Japan. And I'm not a cigarette smoker anymore. It's just it's really hard to get cigars and pipe tobacco in Japan. So you know, I just switched to cigarettes, and I'm not a heavy smoker. So like even back then, it was like one cigarette after breakfast, one cigarette during my work break, and one cigarette in the evening, either right before sleep or while I was drinking. But yeah, something about this, it just makes me want to reminisce, you know, oyuwari, you know, drinking this, it evokes in a Proustian fashion Enka music. And, you know, my window being open so I can blow my cigarette smoke out so the ice cold winter breeze comes in because I'm on the second floor. And oh, all those feelings, all those smells and tastes too, you know, hearing the Enka music coming in from my living room. Yeah, I love Enka. I'm sorry. It's Enka being, you know, sort of the traditional music. I shouldn't say traditional music. The sort of taisho. era music, Taisho, Taisho to Heisei era music, you know. Um, so Japanese music played on modern instruments, I guess is the best way to describe it. Country music, it's really tough to describe to someone who doesn't have Japan to kind of like, if you're in Japan, you get what Enka music is about. Uh, it's the country music of Japan, uh, I suppose, but it's also a bit urban too. So hard to explain, especially when this stuff is going straight to my brain. Suffice to say, it, I just love drinking this kind of stuff, listening to it on a cold winter's night. And isn't that the ideal, folks? Isn't that the ideal? With a beverage, is that not price point, not complexity, but instead having that moment of evocation, where the past is brought back to life, memories come alive again. And yeah, that's something that I always enjoy with a beverage or food of choice or smoke of choice if you're a smoker like me. And it, it goes beyond just like the simple taste of something. But yeah, I'm really rambling because I'm sure, unless you're young and still have many memories yet to make, many touchstones in your past that are awoken by cues, you know. Uh, if you don't have that, this is still pretty quality, still pretty good. Um, Especially if you're not into Imo Jochu, this will be a good introduction since it's lighter and cleaner, but still unmistakably sweet potato shochu. And if you're like me, and this is like yoked to a whole host of memories, wistful memories, uh, things that will never come again, then yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I am just filled with mono no aware, as the saying goes in Japan. Uh, if you don't know what that idea is, it's from aesthetic philosophy. Um, the originator of it, Motoori Norinaga. Um, yeah, and this is neither. Holy crap! It's nearly 20 minutes. I am just rambling on because like I got liquor brained and I just decided to go and whole hog into nostalgia. This is good stuff, folks. Even if it doesn't go and it's not lemon tea and Madeleines for you, it's still good stuff. For me, it's lemon tea and Madeleines all the way. And yeah, that's your shochu review for this evening. Cheers. Or kampai.